Alright, Bilious here, bringing you something a little bit different on my channel today. I'm bringing you a French lesson that came from a lot of requests over the years. I've been teaching French now for 16 years, and I've had a lot of people ask me about this one particular topic, and I'm going to have to make it quick because I need to do this in less than 10 minutes. So, as you can see on the screen here, we have the dreaded French pronouns, because students have a lot of problems dealing with pronouns. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see that I give you a list of all of the pronouns: subject, direct object, indirect object, pronominal, and accentuated. And this is going to assume that you have a certain introductory knowledge to pronouns. So forgive me if I go too fast, but you feel free to send me a question in the comments section, and I'll be happy to answer it for you, because again, I need to do this in less than 10 minutes, and this normally takes at least 20 to 30 minutes to explain. From the left to the right, this chart will show you the order of the pronoun sequence in French. This en should be after e, but for space purposes I had to put it under it. And you can always remember these two by the donkey syndrome of ion, ion. And I list below by rules of three. Students tend to remember things a lot better when we deal in groups of three. So we have questions to ask each time. Do we have the preposition a with the verb a here? And if we do, a has a cape that it wears, or it carries a big flag, and then it waves it around screaming, "Hey, I am indirect." Indirect. So if I were dealing with a person and I have a associated with the verb, like parler a or téléphoner a, then I'm going to be choosing the indirect object pronoun. If I have a place to which I'm going with a, to, at, or in, then I would use the pronoun e. If I have a place from which I'm coming, I would use the pronoun on, because e and on can never replace people. And thirdly, is this a partitive? And that should have a question mark, but that's okay. If we have a partitive, it's also going to be on. Onward to the process, and this is what we're going to do each time, again in rules of three. We want to determine the pronoun based off the above questions, determine the placement, which is down here, we'll get to that in a moment, and rewrite or answer the sentence. Let's take a look at the placement. Again, we have three categories. If you have one verb, a simple tense, the pronoun goes in front of the verb. If you have two verbs, like the futur proche, or even certain verbs that take infinitives, like il faut, or je dois parler, etc., the pronoun goes between the two verbs. And if you have the passé composé, again, I should have an accent there, but that's okay, and other compound tenses, most notably le plus que parfait, in which you have a helping verb and a past participle, the pronoun goes before the helping verb. Now, before we go any further, I want to take about 10 seconds here and explain to you that there are some exceptions to this chart, most notably the me, te, nous, and vous, and that will happen with direct, indirect, or pronominal. If you have more than one pronoun involved, those four, me, te, nous, and vous, will always occupy the first position. Whether it be direct, indirect, or pronominal, doesn't matter. They come first, and then all of the pronouns will come after them. And a lot of people or books present this separately. I choose to give it as a whole, because students tend to do much better with that. If you can give them something that works the majority of the time, as they gain confidence, they can themselves begin to master the little nuances and exceptions that occur within the language. Alright, so let's get started with the sentences. Over here you can see I am using an internet whiteboard here. A very good site. I can't really draw that well with a mouse, but hey, that's okay. It serves its purpose. It gets the job done. Number one, we have je vois Marc. I see Mark. And what we would want to say is I see him. So we're going to go through our questions that we're going to ask each time. Do we see the preposition a with this verb? Is it in here anywhere? No. Alright. Is this a place to which we are going or from which we are coming? No. Mark is not a place. It's a person. Is this a partitive? No. So that rules out these two. I know it's not stressed because it's not at the beginning or end of the sentence. I know it's not pronominal. And I know, since I don't have a, that it's indirect, that it's not indirect. It's not the subject. Je is my subject. So I have to go to the direct object. Now I need to find which one of these here would correspond to Marc. And I know Marc is il. So that leads me over here to le. So le is what I'm going to choose. And again, I can't really draw well. Le. Now, we've answered our question. We've determined our placement. We've determined the pronoun. Now we have to determine our placement. So let's go down here. Do we have one verb, two verbs, or passé composé? Well, here I can see that I just have one verb. One verb. So if I have one verb, it goes in front of the verb. So I know that this little guy's got to go right there. So let me see if I can write this answer real quickly for you. And that's going to be step 3 in our process. Whoops. That's what our answer will look like. Je le vois. Number 2, je vais parler à Susie. À Susie. Do we have a preposition à associated with the verb parler à Susie? Yes, we do. Is Susie a person? Yes, she is. So what kind of flag is it waving around? Indirect. So I know I'm going to be right here. It tells me right from the start. So which one would go with Susie? Well, that's elle. So I hop over to this category. Hey, that's lui. So this one, oh, cancel. This one is going to be Louis. Now, what category am I in? 1, 2, or 3? I have 1, 2 verbs. So I know that it's going to go in between them. In between them. So I know Louis has got to go there. Let me see if I can rewrite this for you. That's what we should have. Je vais lui parler. Let's take a look at number 3. Nous avons mangé le sandwich. And we want to replace le sandwich. Do I see the preposition à? No, I do not. Is this a place? No, it's a sandwich. Are we going to come to it or go from it? No. Alright, is this a partitive? No, it's the sandwich, not some of the sandwich. So what's this leave us with? Just like we had in number 1, a direct object. Now which one of those will we choose? Well, it's le sandwich. So we have to choose le. So I know that le sandwich will be replaced by le. Now I need to determine my placement. Nous avons mangé. I need to be able to recognize. That looks like 2 verbs, but it's not. Helping verb, past participle. It's the passé composé. My pronoun goes before the helping verb. Alright, so now we have to be careful because this is a vowel and my helping verb is going to begin with a vowel. You'll see what I do. Nous l'avons mangé. I can't put accents in with this. So I'm going to write it in. And what I did was this le becomes L' because it's in front of a vowel. And I think I'll have time for at least one more. Il est allé au cinéma. And here we have something that looks weird, this au cinéma, to the movies. Alright, now French plays hide and seek. This O is a contraction of a and le. So here I have the preposition a with the verb. Now is this a place? Yes it is. Am I going to that place? Yes I am, because I'm using the preposition a. Well, if you remember, when we go to a place, it's e. So this is going to be e. And I put this one in here because it's an exception. E will come... No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that exception. This is not an exception. Let me back up. What is my placement? I'm in the passé composé. He went to the movies. Alright, so it's going to come before the helping verb. So I know it's going to come right here. Let me see if I can rewrite this before my time runs out. And here's what we have. Il y est allé. Il y est allé. Alright. Il y est allé. Il y est allé. Well, I won't have time to do number 5 this time, but hopefully this might help you a little bit with the rules of 3 and what you can do with the rules of 3. Just remember, these are questions that you need to ask yourself each time. You can always back this video up. You can watch me do those sentences again. You can send me messages in the comments section. You can ask me questions. Let me know what you think. And if you have any suggestions or ideas about something that might be giving you trouble with French, send those to me as well, and I'll make sure to make videos of them for you. Again, I sincerely hope that this has helped you some, and I look forward to your comments.